All right, let's get it, man. All right, man. Hanging with Beatdrop podcast. We back, man. It's been like, what, 2 months, Kev? Yeah? You been unemployed with me for 2 months, man?
Unemployment check.
Yeah, you know, and I got my boy, man. We've been having some great conversations, and I'm like genuinely really happy you're here, bro.
Come on, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Because like we're gonna talk about boxing, we're gonna talk about everything.
Let's do it. All of the
What's
above.
good, man? We good?
I'm great, man. Thank you for having me.
No, I'm
it's
excited.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm happy to be here. You've been doing your thing out here in the podcast world for a minute, inspiring cats. I love the setup.
Oh shit,
this is great.
We
got my Bud Lights cracking.
You know what I'm saying?
Bud Light
Cheers.
Poppies in the
man,
house.
we could just end the podcast with all those compliments like that.
That's it. And over.
Oh man, haven't drank in a minute. You know what I mean? All right, so let's get to it, man. Obviously, you know, we've had conversations at work or just awesome shit, and I feel like every time I talk to you has always been like I always leave with something. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's like, you know what's actually crazy? I was telling my dad, you taught me something like last time we spoke about helping my son catch better.
Yeah.
And that actually worked. Like,
man,
I remember,
I'm glad.
I was throwing it, and he was like, ugh. And I was like, damn it, Jacob, fuck. Like, you know, like, I was like,
embarrassing me,
I was like,
man.
Come on, man. We got the ring cameras. We could see this shit. Like, and I was throwing him the ball, and he wasn't catching it. And I was like, damn, like, I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I remember that I talked to you about it, and you were like, you know, just like throw it at one spot, nonstop.
Exactly.
Like, just keep it there.
Nah, and that's what, like, because, you know, I coach my daughters in softball and whatnot, and the number one thing I noticed while coaching is, like, a lot of especially if they're new and young, they don't know how to turn their glove.
Yeah.
But the whole, in their head, they're like, I don't want this fucking ball to hit me in the head.
Yeah.
So that's always in their head. So I literally just spoke it. I was like, you know what? If they know where the ball's going to be at, they could just practice catching, and they didn't have to worry about that shit hitting them. Dude. And I did that with my daughters, and it worked like crazy. And I implemented that in all of them. And when I coach girls, like they always know how to catch the ball well. Yeah. Because that's just something that kind of on the fly. You don't know until you're actually doing it. And I was like, yo, but that's actually a good idea. Let me just I'm going to stick your glove out. Yeah. I don't give a fuck if you drop it or whatever, but it's going to be there. Yeah. So you got to move it up and down and whatnot. And so it works.
No, it actually works, because I remember that, like, see, my little man, he has a helmet, right? So, like, he put his helmet on, fucking helmet. And I was like, fuck. And I told him, I was like, well, Jacob, like, this isn't going to work because you play flag football. Like, you know what I mean? So then I remember when you told me that, I was, like, doing it one side, and he was catching it. Yes. And he was like, oh, okay. And then little by little, it started working. And I was like, I told my dad, I was like, yo, this is my homie Vinny, like, actually taught me that trick.
Oh, I'm so glad.
So I'm glad that, you know what I'm saying, that shit actually worked.
Yeah, I'm glad he can fucking catch.
Yeah, because I was like, fuck, you're making me look bad as a unit out here, man. Like,
straight up. You know?
No, man, but honestly, Vin, I want to start from the jump, man. Like, just to kind of get to know you a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Like, where you from, where you grew up, and we just gonna glide from there, bro.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, shit. I go by Vinrican. I originally was born in Brooklyn, New York. Spent the first 10 years of my life in Brooklyn, New York, Coney Island. I always reference it, you know, the movie He Got Game. Yeah. That's virtually where I grew up. The first 10 years of my life, I lived there.
Was that from The Warriors? Island. The movie The Warriors?
The Warriors, too.
Right,
they're trying to get the
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
Warriors, come on and play. Yeah. So they just trying to get back to Coney Island.
Yeah, they just trying to go back home.
Go back home. Leave them alone, man. They took the F train home. Yeah. But, yeah, so, like, I grew up there. And that was very impressionable for me as a kid. Right. You know, the first 10 years of your life, you're very impressionable. But my family, my dad drove from Brooklyn, New York. Him and a couple of my uncles, and then he drove. He knew he wanted to come out to California, so he drove to California. He stopped in the Antelope Valley because he was just like, he's a big, like, Clint Eastwood fan. Hey, so he saw the desert and the mountains and shit. He was like, yo, this is kind of cool. Yeah. So, and it was not cool for me. So,
You're like,
I was like, God damn, why couldn't you keep driving towards LA? Like, you know what I mean? Be in a cooler spot. So literally we flew from Brooklyn, New York. My family, I have 3 sisters and my mom. We flew from Brooklyn, New York to Lancaster, to LA, and then we located in Lancaster. But it was the best decision, in my opinion, that my parents could have made, because there was not really anything good happening in Brooklyn at that time.
Yeah.
It was it's not the gentrified Brooklyn that you see on TV a lot today, and it's just it was a different era.
Yeah.
So I grew up in the Antelope Valley after Brooklyn, New York. And then I went to college I went to San Diego State for a year. I went to Antelope Valley College. Crazy story is the game went to Antelope Valley College too.
Oh shit.
Like for a minute. He was trying to play ball. I was trying to play basketball too. So we kind of like cross paths in that sense. But so I went to San Diego State for a year, and of course I always loved music. You know, in between too, like being in California, I would go back to Brooklyn for summers, for Christmas, for weddings, different things.
And how did you like music? Was it like was your family like a heavy like music
man,
playing?
I had just like any household. Like I had music growing up. I remember my parents, they had War albums.
Oh shit.
I grew up listening to War. My parents were big Delphonics, Al Green fans, like Barry White, soul music. But also back then, excuse me, and I was born in '78, so in New York in the '70s, the salsa music was just cracking. Fania Records is a big salsa record label in the '70s, and groups like the Fania All-Stars, Hector Lavoe, Willie Colon, like all these great musicians, Carlos Santana's brother, like they were all in this Fania All-Stars. And I always remember my parents playing those records. What sucks is being like when we moved from New York to California, my dad was just like, he just tossed all them shits in the trash. And it kills me to this day. Because, you know, he figured, like, I ain't going to need this shit.
You hope that you could go back now and there's a trash can is still there.
I'll be digging for records, and I'll, like, it just kind of bring, like, oh, shit, I remember my parents had this record, that type of shit. So, yeah, music was always in my life, and, you know, growing up. And so it was no different coming from to California as well, you know. And it was a great, to me, that's why I feel like I have, I love my musical taste because I got the best of both worlds, and I got to go when I go back to New York. Like there was a summer in '92. I remember going back when my cousin lived in Staten Island, and he was like introduced me to WuTang Clan.
Oh shit!
And at that time, you know, they were getting played on Stretch and Bobbito, like in that, and they had.
You put me on that documentary, by the way. Oh yeah, man!
Such a great.
Awesome.
It was just a trip down memory lane. If you haven't seen that. A Radio That Changed Lives, those Stretch and Bobbito, please go check that out because it's great. It's the golden era in hip hop, and it was something that they were like, basically, like a 16-year-old Biggie coming in and freestyling. It's like crazy, raw, uncut artist.
I didn't even believe it until like you told me, and I was like, "You for real?" And I checked it. I was like, "Dude, that's fucking crazy."
Yeah, so it's crazy. My cousin lived in Staten Island, and you know, like when he would tell me, he's like, "Yo, there's this new group out here. They call the WuTang Clan. They're kind of ill, whatever. Like, check them out." And I heard like virtually what became what I knew to be like a freestyle they did on Stretch and Bobbito. So I would come back out here to the West, and I'll be going to the warehouse, like asking the cats in the computer, do you know the WuTang Clan? Can you type it in and see if they're coming out? This is like in '92 where these motherfuckers are like, "Sir, I don't know who this WuTang Clan is, but it's not in the computer. I don't know.
It's not in the system. I could check in the back."
So I was like, all right, cool. Dog, that was like a year before they even cracked. And then
crazy. Like
I would see, and then all of a sudden then listening to the radio, on my weak frequency that I would get, like, you know, Power and 92.3 The Beat. I would check on my weak ass frequency and Palmdale and shit like that, listening to Friday Night Flavors and all this shit. Like I would hear it and I would be like, oh shit, they're playing that too. So it was kind of like not to mention the eclectic groups out here. It was just like that. In my opinion, the late 80s, early 90s, it will never be again, because that music was so special and so unique and so groundbreaking that, you know, it gave me a passion for it. You know what I mean? Like, so when I went to college, I knew I eventually wanted to do something like maybe production wise, just something in the industry. Like, so I went to San Diego State for a year. I didn't really like the major, like it didn't really like hit. So I was like, you know what, my boy, he was going to CSUN. He's like, yo, CSUN got a dope film and radio. You should check it out. And I was like, all right, cool. So I transferred to CSUN. So mind you, I went to junior college first, and then I went to San Diego State for a year, and then I went to CSUN.
Were you playing ball though, like in college at any point?
At Antelope Valley College, I did play baseball. So I played college baseball for 2 years, and it was like it was just like me and my boys, we was just partying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we was just fucking around. We go to the tournaments, get drunk. I'm over there throwing up. The coaches watch me in a hotel like, this motherfucker ain't playing tomorrow. We were just getting lit.
He's questionable to return. Doubtful for tomorrow.
We were just getting obliterated drunk. So I didn't, like, I was an athlete and I love sports. So obviously you could tell, like, I fucking still stay with my New York teams, unfortunately. But that's another topic.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But yeah, so I had obviously a passion for music and I loved it, and I was always wanting to, and radio always intrigued me because like listening to Friday Night Flavors and listening to Big Boy on Power back in the days, I was like, yo, this is like a passion of mine that I want to know how to get into it. So at CSUN, they had a great program. And they still do, and they basically. I went to school for audio production, so it was basically it was called RTVF, so it was radio, television, film.
Oh shit!
So I basically got my major in radio production with like a minor in film, but because I love film as well, so I got an internship through the radio station to Power.
Damn, that's crazy.
And at CSUN.
What year was that? Do you
that
remember?
Was in 2000.
2000.
So in the summer of 2000, I actually worked for the Source Awards. That was crazy random. I actually worked for the Source Awards that year. It was just like being a production assistant. Yeah. But it turned into like I ended up being an associate producer at like 19, 20 years old. I was like, oh shit, like because I knew my hip hop shit, and the executive producer was like, yo, this dude. I gave him the idea for the intro of the show. I told him what we should do for music, like all in the first day of my like internship. And then he's like, fuck your internship, you're hired. I've been trying to find, because remember them Bud Light, speaking of Bud, remember the Budweiser cats? I was like, oh, you know what you should have for the intro? Yeah. I was like, you should have the cats, the Bud Light cat, or the Budweiser cats, like, oh, what's up, man? What you doing? Oh, nothing, chilling, having a bud. What's that? Like, I literally told him that should be the intro. He's like, that's fucking brilliant. I'm going to use that. And he's like, yo, you're hired. Fuck your internship. Guess what? You're going to be making $500 a week. Yeah. So to me, I was like, $500 a week, 2 racks a month. Yeah, like fuck school. You know what I mean?
Like internship. The fuck?
So school kind of took a backseat at CSUN, but because I was getting paper. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, fuck. I'm gonna get my money first.
Hell yeah.
So that was happening, and then I ended up like I said, to graduate, I had to get an internship in the program. So they had CSUN has a great relationship with Power. So I was able to get an internship working under Jeff Garcia, who was at that time the audio production guy for Power. Damn, he was the director of production for Power. So I was interning for Jeff. Learning a lot, being up there at night. So in 2000, when I started interning, Felly just got hired to do nights at Power. So we would see each other all the time, passing through at night. He's like, oh, what's up, man? Hey, come chill out. So Fluffy would be up there, Gusto would be up there.
Dang,
we'd be just like chopping it up. And when the artist would come through, of course, in true Felly fashion, he's like, yo, record this dude. I want to use this for my mixtape. So I'll be in my audio production studio like, I got to get my shit done though. He's like, no, fuck that. You're going to record the Jizzer right now. We're going to use it as a promo, and that's it. I was like, all right, fuck it. So we built a good relationship, and then so I ended up getting hired part-time to do production. So I'm back in school. I ended up graduating in 2001, but I was working like part-time at Power. So it went from internship, got hired part-time to do production, and I also was helping out Felly at nights with production. And then in 2002, I ended up doing just producing Felly's show. Right. So I was up there like virtually all the time. Mind you, in between all this, so I had that other job I had quit to do all of radio. So that the production job that I had with the Source Awards and this other executive producer, he was working on stuff like some sports stuff, which I was really interested in, but I was more passionate about music. So I ended up going into just that route, just full throttle in, you know what I mean? So, but here we are, I'm out of college. Yeah. I got a part-time job. Yeah. Board hopping at that time, shit, I was making like $7.50 an hour. That ain't doing shit. You know what I mean? So I was like, I got to make a move, kind of like, you know what I mean? So at that time, I was working 7 p.m. to midnight with Felly producing, but I also had another job just selling furniture during the day. Oh, so I literally would work from 2001 to like 2000, almost 4, before I got married, I worked 7 days a week. So I was working from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. in Van Nuys selling furniture. Then I would work 7 p.m. to midnight producing Felly's show.
In Van Nuys?
And so I would, in Van Nuys on Sepulveda. It was called The Mill. It was right next to a strip joint.
Oh, yeah. Oh, should have started with that.
You know, you got the warehouse shoe sale, then a stripper joint.
Oh, yeah. The warehouse shoe, I don't know about that one. Oh shit!
So I
That's
like
crazy.
just to supplement my income
Yeah,
because I
got
was
to.
coming off of making 2 racks from that other job. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, I like making money. I got to continue to make money.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was able to. Me and the homies, we was renting out a spot in Burbank, so we was able to split rent 3 ways. So that worked out. But I was just trying to focus on stacking my chips and getting my shit together virtually. But there became a point where I was like, all right, I can't, like, I literally was on a fork in the road where I was like, either I'm just gonna sell furniture because I was making good money selling furniture. You know what I mean? So I was like, man, fuck this radio shit. These motherfuckers are not giving me a shot. I ain't, the cats who have the positions are already cemented. They ain't going nowhere.
Right.
So I'm gonna make a good living selling furniture for this time being. You know what I mean? But Felly was like, yo, man, like, cause I was like literally gonna quit, but he did not want me to quit. Because I was doing a lot for him.
Right.
And he ended up hiring me. He's like, man, fuck that. Nah, man. Like, he was doing like his heavy hitter, like record pool. Like I was helping with that. He was doing mixtapes. He was doing a lot. And I was helping him with that. So he looked at me like a commodity. So he's like, nah, man, I need you, bro.
Yeah,
like you run my show like tight. We're fucking been #1 for like years. Like, and you're a friend. Like I want to help you out. And if it wasn't for Felly, honestly, I wouldn't be in this radio shit still.
That's crazy, man.
Like he literally said, fuck that, bro. I'm gonna pay you because you got talent and you're dope and we're gonna make something work.
Damn, that's dope, man.
So like so I worked with him in the studio. So I quit the furniture store and I started working with him exclusively in the studio. So I basically had the hours from like 2 p.m. to midnight.
Yeah.
And then like just doing mixtapes, just doing edits for his record pools, just
working,
just working, just trying to make it. And then fortunately for me, the director of production job opened up. Yeah. So Jeff went with Big Boy in the morning and he was focusing more on the morning show shit. Yeah. So that spot opened up, and by that time I just got married, and I got married in 2004. So that job opened up in 2005. So I was like, fuck. Like I need this job now. I was like, I need the benefits. Yeah. So I basically had to tell Fel, and he understood. You know what I mean? Like it was just the timing was great. Yeah. But you got to understand. And cats, like I feel like nowadays they just don't. They think it's gonna just come like that. Right. Like I was like grinding for years. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you know how it is. Like shit. Like you in that grind. We're all still in that grind, so to speak. But just to come up. You know what I mean? Like. And it just, the opportunity was, thank God it presented itself, because it could have been like, I've seen cats come and go, throughout the years. And now I've been at the station now 20 years. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I've seen a lot of people come and go. But the one thing I would tell them is like, yo, have that timeline in your head. Yeah. And if the shit is not, if it's not moving, first of all, you got to give it time. Yeah. Secondly, once that time is up, you got to know. You got to move on. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I was at that, like I said, that fork in the road where it's like, fuck, I got to make a decision here. Either I'm going to provide, I'm just married, like I got to make something happen. So it worked out, thank God. So then I ended up getting the production director job, and I've been doing that since 2005. I got hired. But before that, I got hired full-time in 2003. So, but it was like, cause like I said, Felly was kind of like looking out for me. So he hooked that up and whatnot. And then, in 2005, that position opened up, and I've been doing that job for 15 years now. This September will be 15 years. I'll be the director of production at Power. That's crazy, which is a blessing, man. Yeah. It's a blessing, and I love it, And
but it's so dope that you say like, oh, like you have to be patient and you gotta work hard. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. You know, I know it's tough. I know it sounds cliche, but it's an honest fucking truth though. You know what I mean?
It's like a fact. And also too, because I hear people, a lot of cats through the years have just said, oh, you're lucky, you got a house. oh, you lucky you got this. I was like, dog, what you don't realize is the blood, sweat, and tears and the sacrifice that I had to do to make. I fucking worked 7 days a week for over 3 years.
That's awesome.
If you tell me, who would sign up to do that? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm a hustler.
Yeah, man.
And I was like, I knew I had a goal in mind. I was like, I was with my girl for a minute. I was like, I know I want to get married. I know I want to provide and I want to buy a house.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I was like, that's what I'm going to do. And that's what it took. You know what I mean? So I hate when people are like, oh, you're lucky you got this, you got that. Like with luck comes struggle and also a perseverance. And, you know, it's not all luck. It's hard work as well. You know what I mean? So
they think it's like overnight success in a sense.
That's the thing, especially nowadays, you know, and I hate to put like, you know, sound like the old head, but it's like you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work and trust your ability, trust the timing. And if the timing ain't there, you're going to know because it's like the opportunity hasn't presented itself. So you better move on and do something else because it's not cracking. Do something else. And then maybe you'll get another opportunity.
Yeah.
But don't be impatient. You know what I mean? I don't know. Everybody's timeline is different. Everybody's circumstances are different.
Yeah.
Shit, you could have somebody sick in your family that changes your timeline.
True.
You could have a child that changes your timeline.
Yeah, man.
You could have something that you know, you never know. Like that, you know, but if you have the ability to just be patient and be a hard worker, I think things would work out. Work out. You know what I mean?
No, that's some real shit, man. And I'm glad you're speaking on that shit because it like it's one of those where like I feel you though, but it's like, you know, people be saying, oh, it's like, you know, I can't wait no longer. And it's like, no, you gotta be patient though. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you weren't ready to have that position years ago. Maybe you needed to mature in a few areas before you got the position at this point. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I just think I'm glad you're speaking on that shit because it's like I completely understand what you're saying because even me back in the day, I'll be super impatient. I'll be like frustrated. But now looking back, I'm like, you know what? I think the timing was right for that.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying?
Because I remember we had conversations
all the
time.
Yeah, man.
A lot of hallway conversations. And like you're one of those rare cats that just I knew they were listening to what I was saying too. Because like there's cats that just will listen and they're like, but nah, fuck that. I still want to get.
What's the shortcut? What's the shortcut?
Exactly. How do I get there?
Cool. But like, what? No, but like, tell me right now though. Like,
exactly, exactly. So that was like, I knew like with you was what was really cool is like, and that's why I would invest like conversations because like cats, they'll be like in one ear out the other, and I won't even waste any more time. You show me what you like, give me face value. I already know where you're at. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so like, and then. Just in between, like I just been like as far as like wax only, like I literally just been collecting records for that long as well. Like,
but that segment is awesome as fuck, bro.
Thank you.
Like,
bro.
I'm not even just saying it just because you're here, bro. But I remember like seeing the first episodes and like just seeing the growth. I mean, you were just talking about it, bro. And it's like just seeing it. And it's like, dude, it's so dope because even the comments, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, are just I always feel like they're so positive. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's so cool to see. You know what I mean?
That's so I really appreciate that because that's come a long way too. And then like a lot of cats. Well, you know, in my opinion, like I always been around music. The cats, like in high school, I knew cats that DJ'd. I would roll with these cats to parties, and I would be the dude that plays J. Rule the Damager and Showbiz and AG and clear the floor. But I didn't give a fuck. Because that's the shit I liked. And I don't give a fuck. I was like, y'all motherfuckers are, I don't care. And they're like, yo. So they be playing, so my homies will be playing the house shit and, you know, the party shit. Be like, all right, Vin. We're good. Go ahead. Do your thing.
You ever
like, J. Rule the Damager. Showbiz AG was good.
Yo, you ever seen The Wedding Singer with Adam Sandler?
Hell yeah.
When he takes a break and he's like, all right, the guy comes in and he's like, give me time. And everybody's like, what the fuck?
That was me of hip hop. You know what I mean? Of underground hip hop.
Like, fuck.
Like, oh, shit. But I didn't give a fuck. And that to me was a struggle because a lot of cats like, oh, are you a DJ? I was like, you know what, man? Like, yeah, I could DJ. Like, at the end of the day, I grew up with it. But I have so much a higher level of respect. I grew up in the era of, you know, like DJs who are like, I can't do that shit. So like, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? But I know my way around turntables, you know what I mean? And in the early on with Wax Only was crazy is like the program director at the time was just like, keep it short, keep it sweet. I like it, but keep it short and sweet. So I was like, fuck, you know, kind of inhibited that. But it became a point where it was getting a lot of views and a lot of great responses to where he was like, do it. But also, too, it was a natural progression. You know what I mean? So I was, it's like anything. You practice, you get better at your skills and your craft, and it was a natural progression. But like I said, I've been collecting records for like 20 years plus. I remember being at the station, and one of the main reasons why I have a incredible collection is because back in the days when we got service records, Chalk and E-Man would just be like, it was basically the Serato was cracking. Like it was like maybe like 03, 04,
I think that's
05, somewhere around that time where I was still collecting and shit like that. My goal was literally to have every CD that I owned, I wanted on wax. So every CD. So I was already like shopping at all the stores, and by that time, vinyl was virtually dead. So I was getting like, I was going to DJs' houses and just.
They're like, just take it.
Take that shit. Take that shit, bro. Go ahead. I'm not going to use it anymore. I was like, word? All right, word. I got it. So, enough said. So, but Chalk would tell me like, yo, Vin, these the DJs haven't picked up their shit. Go ahead and take their records. So I was like, all right, cool. So what I would do is I would get all them fucking records that the labels pressed up for these DJs that didn't use it anymore. I would take my ass over to Amoeba or Aaron's Records, and I would slang that shit.
Oh, shit.
Get store credit, and then I'll be like, yo, let me get that James Brown off the ceiling right there, bro. Let me get that one, that joint off the ceiling. Yo, let me get that, give me that Parliament joint right there too. So my collection like tripled. In the span of like a few years, where everybody thought vinyl was dead. It's like real estate. You buy when it's cheap, you know what I mean? And it's all about location, and you invest in that. And my shit, like I bought at the perfect time. I was buying in the early 2000s where cats were just throwing their shit away.
Just getting laptops.
And saying this shit is old news. Like, go ahead, have at it. But, just having always, like I said, always growing up with turntables around the house and I just loved it. And I grew a passion for it, and enough to where people at the station was like, yo, you should do a segment about it. You know what I mean? Like, because again, my passion for music always came from, like, I grew up in the golden era with the Pete Rocks and the Primos, where I would like do the CD and look at the credits and look at the contained samples of. Me and my homies were all like into that. You know what I mean? So, and we were like true about it, So it's progressed. We've been doing wax only now. I've been doing it for 5 years. This August will be 5 years, and it's virtually, we're like 170 episodes deep. But it's like a passion project of mine, and I have the same mentality that I did as a 15-year-old kid. I don't give a fuck if you don't like Showbiz and AG. I'm going to display it because they're a dope-ass group and they need to be celebrated. And if you don't like it, you don't got to watch. Go ahead. But you can't hate on it because it's pure, it's the essence, and it's hip-hop. You know what I mean? So
what goes behind, like, how do you prepare for, like, a wax-only record? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like...
That's a great question.
I feel like you guys, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mars, too, man. I feel like you guys, like, execute it so perfectly. Even the way you guys time it, all that, it just feels like a good vibe. It doesn't.
Absolutely.
I don't feel like when I'm watching it, it's like, oh shit, what the fuck happened? It just feels so smooth.
Thank
you know what I'm
bro.
saying? So
that means a lot.
So what goes behind like a wax only, episode?
So I have a beautiful mind when it comes to hip hop releases. I don't know why. Like, like now, obviously nowadays Google searches everything as far as like when albums come out, birthdays, anniversaries. That's very helpful. But I've already I have all these in my mind because growing up, this shit meant so much to me. I remember to like where seasons were, you know what I mean? Like cold outside when a Roots album dropped, and I was like, that must have been in the fall or whatever. But now it's great to reference Google search, you know what I mean? First of all, I own everything. I own all the records. There was a couple times where like I reach out to cats like, yo, you got this album? I want to do this, or whatever. So that would be the case, but I will. First of all, whosample.com is an amazing for me is how I reference a lot of these records. You know what I mean? Like, so I'll go. So for example, I'll choose the Roots album. And then I'll go in my stash and I'll be like, all right, like, how many records are saying? Oh, they only use 3 samples. I won't really do that record. You know what I mean? It's not really sample heavy. But if it's at least 8 or 9 samples, I was like, you know what, that'll be a great episode. I'll do that. So what I'll do is I'll research who sampled from what. I'll go to my collection. I would say 8 times out of 10 I'll have a record already, but the couple other records that I need or I don't have, I'll go digging for them, or you know what I mean, like either digital digging, whether it be Discogs or eBay, or I'll go to the stores. Like there's some great record stores out here that I love. Shout out to Atomic Records, shout out to Gimme Gimme Records. Just a lot of just great vinyl out there. Like so 9 times out of 10, like I said, a lot of these cats use a lot of the same samples too. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it depends on how deep I want to get with it. You know what I mean? So I definitely I do my homework. You know what I mean? And that's important for this series, and it's important for the culture. It's just a great learning tool for cats. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you're a young kid or old head. Like it's just opens. It's like a Pandora's box to music. You know what I mean? Like because so many of these hip hop producers have opened my eyes and ears to so many great music to where I love the album. Normally, most of the time, I'll be actually loving the albums they sample from more than the actual hip hop album. That's what I mean? So it's just beautiful, like to hear. Like samples are just beautiful to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and hip hop is that's the essence of it, and it's just so. It's just the culture. So I'm basically trying to push the culture forward with the series and whatnot. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna do it for. You know what I mean? I've been doing it for a long time, and I'm getting a lot of positive responses. But sometimes it's like, I don't know, maybe it'll morph into something else. You know what I mean? I just don't know what that is yet.
So like, do you feel like sometimes, for example, like let's say that episode 3, you did an episode on Midnight Marauders, right? Do you feel like, for example, like the next episode, you will bring it back just because maybe there's new viewers on, like at this time around compared to when there was back then at episode 2 or 3?
Yeah, I've actually done that. So actually, it's crazy you said Midnight Marauders, because before, like I said, I would only do, because the program director before was just like, just keep it short and simple. You know what I mean? So if you look at a lot of those earlier videos, it's just stop, and then Mars will cut to the next record, stop, play, go to the next record and whatnot, where those, like the time the views would continue to get like crazy views, so it was almost kind of like in my advantage. So the program director's like, oh, come go at at it, like, and so episodes went from like 4 or 5 minutes to 7 to 8 to 10 to 12 to 14 to 16 to 20 to 24. You know what I mean? So what was the question? I already forgot.
You're like, oh fuck.
So with the new viewership and cats coming in, I would like, oh man, I want to do that one over, man. I only did like 4 joints off that shit. I want to do the album justice. So I want to redo it. So a lot of the times I will go back. Midnight Marauders is one of my favorite episodes because I was able to do that, because that's one of my favorite albums. So I've done that several times, you know what I mean? Like, and I'll revisit some other episodes that I've done. It just sucks because we've gotten a lot of like flags, like YouTube flags episodes, because
that's tough, man.
Because it's just obviously copywritten music and different things, and it just all depends on who owns the rights to the music, if they're even looking for that.
It's like block it and all.
Yeah, they'll just block it automatically, and that's like set back. I feel like Wax Only, I don't really care. I'm glad that it's gotten the views that it's gotten, and it's got the accolades that it's gotten, because I was able to still continue to do it. But I don't really care if there's one cat that's seeing it or a million cats. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing shit that I'm proud of, and then I'm actually putting on cats to like dope hip hop, in my opinion. In my humble opinion, a lot of the stuff that I feature, I feel like it's all good hip hop music. And then also too, if you're watching like you've seen the samples and stuff like that, it just opens up that Pandora's box to this whole other all these other genres of music. You know what I mean?
And how do you feel like when the artists repost it? Because sometimes I've seen that and I'm like, man, I know Vin must be like, this is fucking dope.
Dog, to get like Diamond D giving me props, to get Pete Rock. I mean, Pete Rock posts a lot of shit, but when he posts my shit, I'm always humbled and always just humbled. That's the only way I could say it, because it's like these cats like really appreciate. Of course, like I'm doing it to shed light on these great albums, but these are my idols. These are the cats that these were my superheroes growing up. You know what I mean? The Pete Rocks, the Primos, the Diamond D's, you know, the DITCs, all of these cats I looked up and idolized, and I'm just so happy that I'm able to, you know, to have that, you know, social media friendship, so to speak, like dap it up, like from a distance, you know, because and I've gotten so much love from those artists. So it's just so gratifying, you know what I mean? But most of the time I'm like, nah, man, thank you. Thank you for putting out that music, and because it helped me get through a lot of different shit. Like it's an honor. I'm so happy. I hope people go buy your album because they watch Wax Only. You know what I mean? Shit, so yeah,
that's dope. And then, are you dropping any more merch coming soon? Because I know you did the T-shirts. Like
I got bandanas still available. So check it out. I did like 50, just like a 50 run and done with my T-shirts. And that shit sold out within like 2 weeks.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it sold out within 2 weeks. I gave like 10 away to the homies, to just cats, you know, like who really has just fucked with the series from the jump. But yeah, them went quick. I didn't expect it to sell out that quick.
You're like, fuck, I should have been 100.
What's crazy is that then I had my family, like my sister's like, yo, I was like, nah, them shit sold out. You know what I mean? So for Christmas, I actually made another 10 just for family members because they didn't even get a chance to cop.
Oh shit.
I was like, y'all, that's your bad. Like that shit, I had it up on my
y'all should get the link.
You should. I said DM to purchase. Like I wasn't playing. You know what I mean? Shits is gone. Sorry. So, and I want to shout out my wife. My wife just holds me down tremendously. Like awesome, she is like, she came up with the concept to like, you know, bleach them shits, and like she's probably she's the most creative person I know in my life. She's the most creative person I've ever come across. You know what I mean? And she had a vision for that, and she's like, it'd be cool, it'd be dope. And I was like, all right, cool. She, you know, we collaborated even on these bandanas. You know, to answer the question, I got like 10 bandanas left. Hit me at Vinrican if you want to cop. It's only $10 to cop a bandana. So everything, and I don't know if I'm gonna keep going. If I might. I don't know.
I feel like it was like a moment to just kind of like, oh, it's cool. Like
my whole vision with it is like, if you were able to cop one, then you got one. If you didn't, you know, so whatever, you know, like that's it. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to be like on some Supreme shit or whatever, but it's like, it was like, I was not fucking around when I said 50 run and done. It was like 50 and that's it.
You're like, I'm not playing.
You know what I mean? Because like my wife's out there bleaching them shirts and like we drying them. It was like a collaborative effort, but like it's a lot of work. But the shit looks dope.
No,
the shit looks really dope. So we're proud of that, and I'm like, it was just a moment in time. So where I could say like, all right, I did it. You know what I mean? I did that shit, and moving on to the next. And like I said, I got bandanas still available. Who knows? I will never say never, but I'm sure people will still like, because I get cats hit me up a lot. Like, yo, you gonna, nah, I don't know.
Yeah, you're just kind of playing it by ear.
I don't know, yeah.
And then, you know, speaking about your queen, bro, I saw a video of when you guys got married. I don't know when you posted it. I think it was like
for our anniversary. I posted it.
I think it was like you guys came out to like lean back and the light. Like that's so dope.
Shout
bro.
to DJ Ron.
So
I had that. You know, like that was the shit. Like Lean Back in 2004 was like the shit. It was like Gasolina and Lean Back was like, and then like Drop It Like It's Hot. Like, those were like the three
Your
drops of
options
that
were
year.
limited.
So I was like, you know what, man? Like, to me, The Light is like the greatest like love song in hip hop. You know, and obviously like it's beautiful because like my wife shared like encourage the passion of mine. You know what I mean? She didn't really know a lot of these artists. I'd be like, yo, you got to listen to this Black Star album. It's fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
Fuck.
She's like, God damn it. All right. And then, but she, you know, so she indulged me. And I think that's all part of any great relationship. You know what I mean? So, but she got into like a lot of good hip hop like that. So like that, The Light was obviously, I mean, it's a special song to a lot of different people. But, so yeah, like we were just wilding out, and it's just like that's just like a dream. I can't even believe we've been married 15 years now, and we've been together 21 years.
That's dope, man. You guys got a beautiful family too, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's so cool to just see it. You know?
Thank
what I mean?
you, bro. And that's what it's about, man. Like fuck all this bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck everything else. Like fuck I know you got to make money to make a living, but like your family, especially nowadays with the recent tragedies that we've suffered over the last year, it's like, man, appreciate and love your family. Appreciate your health. Appreciate your love for your family, because, you know, that shit could be gone like that.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? It's how you making these memories, especially if you got kids, how you making memories with your kids. That's the most important thing in life.
Yeah.
Everything else is just noise, man. Yeah. Everything else is just noise.
Real shit. No, that's awesome, man.
You know, so yeah.
How does it feel to, you know, be the great dad that you are, man? Because you're a great pops, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going front, bro. You're a good pops, man. You know what I mean? Like,
as I'm taking a sip of my Batal can.
You know, but just one though. It's just one. You know. You know what I mean?
Nah, I appreciate it, man. You know, but it's something I always wanted to be, a father. And you know, what's crazy is I always say this, like, I already knew, I was already prepared to have daughters. Yeah. I grew up in a family with strong women. Like I said, I have 3 sisters. My mom had 6 sisters. So I already had a kind of a gauge of like a big, strong woman family. So I was like, you know, I'll probably have some daughters and stuff like that. So I got 2 beautiful daughters, but I wouldn't have it any other way, man, because I feel like it takes a particular person to raise daughters. You know what I mean? And not to get on the gender a tip or whatever, but it just suits me so well. Yeah. And I'm glad I'm their father, because I feel like I'm a perfect person to be their father, you know, and it's just a great feeling. Like I said, like I coach their softball teams. I love doing that. That's like my favorite thing in the world. Yeah. Like, is coaching and like having them learn and having them love the sport that I love too. Yeah. You know, and just carrying that love and spirit, you know, is important to me. And I'm not the perfect father, so nobody's perfect in that respect. We're all learning every day, but I just try to bet my best to give them my best. Yeah. You know?
No, and then, you know, I have a question, bro. Like, how do you feel like, because I always feel like people always ask a dad that only has girls this question, right? And how do you
know where you're going.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm curious to know, like, you know, you obviously being a dad of 2 girls, like when people be like, oh, when are you gonna try for the boy?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so
moms would be telling me that. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It don't matter.
But how do you feel about it? Is it one of those where like a part of you is kind of like,
you know, at first, like, it honestly, at first, it really bothered me. Yeah. It really triggered me.
Yeah. You're like, what the fuck?
It triggered me to a sense to where, like, I would have to tell my wife, like she had to like walk me off a ledge, like I'm gonna fuck somebody up, like, you know, type of deal. If they like kind of like, because I feel like it's almost on some
like a
disrespectful
right?
shit.
Yeah.
It's almost like my daughters don't exist, or if they're like they're not worthy, you know what I mean, as much of a boy. And I've always had that, you know, inner fight with myself, with other people, because I'm totally fine with it, and I've been fine with. I love. Like, my daughters are like my world, but it's like when other people, I had cats who, they don't even work at the station no more, but like literally had told me like, oh, you're cursed to have daughters, to where it's like a negative thing. You know what I mean? It's crazy, but that's the language that was always used. You know what I mean? And I feel like what's great about this time, like right now especially, is like, you know, we're changing that narrative. Like, no, it's a great thing. First of all, your kid, as long as your kids are healthy and happy, that's first and foremost, you know. But like, like it would be the only reason why that bothered me, because it would be like if my daughters aren't good enough. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I need more, what more do I need? I have 2 healthy, beautiful daughters that are on this earth right here, right now with me. I don't need to be worrying about stuff that I like I can't control. Like, as far as that goes, like, I'm living my life, having like, it's a beautiful life to be had, especially when you got your health and the health of others around you. Like, so at first, early on, it bothered me just because, you know, and I'm not like, of course, like, if you're a man, you want a son. That's just a natural human thing. You know what I mean? I'm not downplaying that, but I've known, I was like, wow, I'm meant to have daughters. Like, you know what I mean? This is my life, and this is why in certain circumstances where I know, like, I'm meant to have daughters. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, like, it would, like, early on, it would bother me. I'm like, so, like as you get older, you get so much more comfortable in your own skin, and also too, like you just think like that's just like a mute point. It's like that stuff is like. Yeah, for people who are like insecure, in my opinion, or just are thinking about it way too much. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because I don't even think about it like that no more.
You're like, I'm just loving my family. That's
I'm just loving. I'm doing what I can as a father, and so. Anyways,
No, I feel it. So, I posted the picture about to ask you some questions. We had 3 people that want to ask you some questions.
Hell yeah!
You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to show you. You know.
Oh shit! I was like, God damn. I was like, oh, look at Beatdrop prepared for the interview.
You know what I mean? I'm really prepared. You know, but I didn't want to show you. You know what I'm saying? I just bought this new notepad. Look.
Oh shit!
I didn't want to show you.
That's
you know
fucking hilarious. That's great.
All right. So first question is from Evelyn. She said, how important is it or has it been for you to teach your daughters about the history and culture of hip-hop? And what would you like for them to take away from everything that you've done with Wax Only? P.S. Who gets to keep all your collection? Hashtag girl dad.
Girl dad, baby. What's crazy is what gives me the most gratitude, especially musically, is just waking up on a Saturday morning and putting on some records, and then my daughters like will be humming on some like Miles Davis shit or Stevie Wonder shit, and they don't even realize the music I'm putting them on. You know what I mean?
So dope,
that's a beautiful thing to me because like, but they be humming. I'm like, yo, what are they like? Yo, they're humming some Miles Davis, some obscure shit right now. I'll be telling my wife, and it's like, that just warms my heart so much because also too, like, me growing up, like, my parents playing like the Delphonics or Al Green or Fania All Stars, whatever. It just gives me, it gave me a spirit and an energy that you can't explain because that's what music does. So that always like. I will always have music around, like turntable, like vinyl, especially like just have it play and in the background, and then what was the next question?
But that's good music to hum to, because my son is like humming to Baby Shark. You doing?
That's some real shit. That's some Baby Shark is some serious. That shit will not get out of your
that
head.
shit will be on me.
It's like that's a certified
that's a
wood in the hood.
No, it was
a fact.
What would you like for them to take away from everything that you've done with Wax Only?
I just want them to always know that there's a couple sayings I live by. One of them is no idea is original. So no idea is original is like, something you thought of, don't think like you're the originator of that. Yeah. Yes, you may have thought of it, but it's manifested in different ways.
That's real shit.
And it's probably already been done. Yeah. I'm not saying not to go for your dreams or goals or whatnot, like have a mind for yourself and think for yourself, but also keep in mind like there are other creative outlets out here. There's other creative sources. So don't always get caught up in that the ego of you came up with it first or you did something first. I always like with Wax Only, that's why like these artists that I idolize, they are using the instruments of other artists like that other people have idolized and stuff like that, and it's all a beautiful like circle. You know what I mean? It all comes full circle. So
that's awesome.
So like I just want them to know like like this music is forever. It's no matter what genre it is, no matter what like how you perceive it, it's how you perceive it. It's how you listen to it and stuff. And because I don't put them on I don't force feed them the music. I do tell them that Biggie Smalls is the greatest rapper of all time. They do know that.
But other than that, it's all good.
Other than that, they think for themselves and they. So but they'll know.
But I feel you though. I'm not gonna lie, because for me, like even like with Lil Man, every day I'm like, "Who's your favorite team?" He's like 49ers. I'm like, "That's you keep it that way."
Goddamn
like,
right. And I'm like, and I tell my daughters, "Who's never gonna win the championship?" They're like, "The New York Knicks." I'm like, "You're goddamn right."
Have a good day at school, honey.
And so that's
I feel you though.
These are lessons that you gotta teach.
These are perks you have as a dad, man. Fuck, let us have this.
Oh my God! So, but like I always, they'll trip me out because, like I said, I'll be playing, and they'll know my favorite groups. They're like, oh, like, Poppy, you like Tribe? And I was like, yeah, keep going.
Go
like,
on.
You know, so, but they'll listen. They're like, oh, you played this song.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like, so that warms my heart so much because they'll be in the car or someplace, they'll be like, oh, you have this record.
That's so dope.
They will know. They don't even say you have this song. You have this record.
Yeah, you're like,
you know what I mean? You have.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I do. It's a great record. It's a great record on wax, on vinyl, baby.
Yeah, wax only. Episode 76.
So,
that's awesome, man.
But yeah, so it's always as far as the last question, as far as like who's gonna get the records, like they're gonna have to, man. Inheritance is a hell of a thing, man. All I gotta say is, you know, that's like they both split it down the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't cut the records in half. Just take one half and you take the other half.
You don't want to see it on OfferUp? Nothing.
Nah, what? I will come back. I will fucking come back, and somebody's gonna get hurt. You know what I mean?
Awesome,
Cause so they better not do. Yeah, they better hold on to that shit. They better hold on to that shit, cause that shit is not only worth a lot of money, it's worth a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and just good memories. That's memories. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I feel you, dog.
So yeah, so they've never. You can sell my house, but don't fucking sell my record collection. You know what I mean?
That's real shit, though. I feel you, dog.
I don't care if you're in a penny pinch. You know what I mean? We'll figure it out.
That's awesome, man. Shout out to Daniel, man. Spirit Boat. He said, I don't know if he kind of answered it, but he said, who and what inspired you to explore music like you have throughout your life?
Yeah, like I think, like I said, growing up in the era that I grew up, I was always fascinated with the sound of different producers.
Yeah.
Like it like it's so hard to explain the era that golden era, because it's like it will never be duplicated. It will never happen again. And they were just doing everything so original. It was just a raw new genre of music, and the sounds that they were creating, you know, you just wanted to know all of those sounds, whether it be James Brown, what is it? Will it be Kool and the Gang, whatever it was. So I always had, like I said, when I would get records, like albums, when I buy CDs or whatever, I would look at contain samples of, and I'm like, yo, this is amazing. Like, I want to get into that record, like that jazz album and whatnot. So I think it's always coming from, because I'm considered a Gen X, coming from that generation, I feel like it's a different, we had to do it differently, obviously, as far as like how we consume music and go and seek it out. Yeah. You know, so it's just always been a passion of mine since I could remember, because I literally would like look at these records and see like who is that? What is that from? You know,
like, what is it?
Like what is that? And how they chopped the sample, how they made it into this, you know, beautiful song. Like, it's always intrigued me. So I feel like, you know, the origin, I feel like it's always been in me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where it's coming from, but it's like, it's a passion that I've always had. Yeah. It's just something that's been embedded in me since I was a kid, you know?
No, that's dope, man. Shout out to Nessa, you know, it's Lavane. She said, if you could choose one hip-hop song to narrate your life, what would you pick and why?
Wow.
That's a toughie. Even I couldn't think of one for myself when I read that question.
Wow. To narrate my life?
Yeah. That's a tough one.
Oh, man. To narrate my life. I think it's hard because you have to have something that's going to connect with you. It's not necessarily like telling the story of my life, but I feel like it's something that connects. Dang.
Gasolina?
Oh shit. Oh man. That's fucking funny. Oh god dang.
Yeah, I was thinking, even for myself, I couldn't think of anything. Nessa got me with that one. I was like, fucking Nessa, man.
I think honestly, oh man. And this is like there's so many There's so many. I'm saying like there's some. I'm going to like the more like that's hit like I related to like that's hit me the most like as far as hip hop. Like Juicy, like to me is just like it just puts me in an era and a time where I just felt that song so much.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like having to go through the same struggles Big went through, but you know, the come up, you know what I mean? Like in the struggle to have your art, you know, presented, you know, like and have your voice. Yeah. So I feel like Juicy was just like that record that will always hold a special place in my heart because it was I just always, I don't know, it's that record, and I would say, I would say Juicy like to me, but also like, and we're getting into more like what my favorite like hip hop singles are, and I would throw like 93 Till Infinity in there as well. Just the time it came out, how I felt, you know. So it always, I don't know. It's so crazy. It's that's a hard question to answer. It's a great question.
Yeah, it's a toughie though. Makes you really think.
Yeah, because you kind of want to like make sure that it's on your level as far as like who you are.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying I slang.
I was like, well, you know, for me, I was thinking of Biggie, Sky's the Limit, but then I was trying to think like, wait,
right?
You know,
right.
I was even thinking of, was it the 10 Crack Commandments? And then I was like, wait, but I don't live that type of life.
You sold the alligators on your shirt, though.
You know what I mean? I was like, all right, cool.
Nah, that's the thing. It's like it's hard. And I guess I mean, obviously it doesn't have to always it doesn't have to be hip hop, but that's what we're talking about. Yeah. Like there's so many great records that, in my opinion, it doesn't even have to be something that's related like to like my story or whatever. But I feel like Juicy, 93 Till Infinity, Troy, They Reminisce Over You.
Like those are the records.
Electric Relaxation. Those are probably in my top 5 like hip hop singles ever of all time. You know,
that's fucking awesome.
So yeah, it's just. But like I think Juicy just hit me different.
Yeah.
You know, just because, especially since Big has gone and just like his whole, you know, rags to riches story, like how he was just trying to come up. Just like anybody else. And I feel like everybody has that spirit in them. They're just trying to make it, like we was talking about earlier. Like if you just put the time and effort in it, and you'll, you know, hopefully get to where you want to be.
Hell yeah. And then before you get out of here, bro, you know, we gotta talk about sports at least a little.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? You know?
That's my favorite shit.
How we feeling about our teams this year, bro? You know what I'm saying? Obviously you're a Giants fan.
Yep.
Go for the Knicks.
Yep.
For baseball, what we looking like?
Mets.
All
shitty. The shittiest organizations right now, in my opinion.
So let me ask you a question about those 3 teams, right?
Yep.
So if you could give a team a championship, if you could give another team a chance to make it to the playoffs but never win a championship, and make one team disappear, what are we looking like with those 3 teams?
The Knicks for sure is championship. Like everybody said, like I've been growing out my beard like for probably about 10 plus years and whatnot, but I always say this, like I'm either gonna shave it when my daughters get married or the Knicks win a championship. That's the only time you can see this shit off of my face, you know. But even my daughter's like, no, Papi, I like your beard, leave it. And I was like, well, we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
but I was like,
that time comes.
The Knicks, bro, you want to talk passion. This is my probably number 1 on my list of everything in life is the New York Knicks. I chose the wrong fucking team. You know what I mean? That's if they just won a championship, my life will be complete. Facts. Yeah. Like, that would be it for me. That's how much, you know, we're sports people. Yeah. Like, we love sports. That's how much of a passion I have. Matter of fact, when my wife and I started dating, it was 99. We made that immaculate run to the finals, the Knicks. And it was like, this is crazy. I was like, I got the girl of my dreams, and my fucking team could win a championship right now.
Beautiful.
And we fucking have not ever sniffed the playoffs or since then. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just so disturbing. I mean, that's like the Knicks championship for sure go to them. Yeah. For sure. As far as like, I seen the Mets and the Giants win championships in my lifetime. Yeah. So like, to me, I can't the Mets would just have to probably. I don't know. I guess it'd be tough because the Giants normally when we get to the chip, we actually get it done.
Yeah.
So it'd be tough to just say, oh, they make the playoffs and not win.
Yeah.
You know, the Mets is different. You know, we normally get to the World Series and not win. You know, so it's like I've been there like several times with them, seeing them in the World Series and them not winning. So I wouldn't be too opposed with just like. I don't know, like so one of them doesn't make the playoffs, or one of them just goes away.
Yeah, it just goes away, and one team just keeps making playoffs, but they just never go. Like they just tease you for every fucking year.
Oh damn! You know what's crazy? I almost want to say the Knicks can just fucking go away.
You just.
Because you know what I mean?
Like you're like, you know, come and think
like
fuck.
Just you know what? Just fucking go away. And you know what? Because I coach my daughter's softball, I feel like they know like baseball is my shit. Like I love baseball. So I would say, damn, you know what? I would say like what would be okay, I would want to see the Giants win another championship and if like Brady's the quarterback again. Because there's nothing that gives me more joy than fucking seeing Tom Brady like lose to Eli Man or to the Giants. You know what I mean? So
twice.
I would say Giants win the championships, the Knicks. Oh man, see, I can't fucking let him go. I can't fucking let him go. This is a. I gotta go to therapy for this shit. This shit is like no joke. And what's crazy, we just hired Steve Stout, who's supposed to be like this PR guy for the Knicks. He's supposed to be like bringing all the cool people and shit like that. The motherfucker goes on First Take, and the Knicks right after he's on that show basically have to say. He doesn't represent everything that we're saying. He just got hired, and he's already talking out the side of his mouth saying, oh, we're going to hire the best coach. And they're like, you know what? He's not even going to hire coaches. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, so, like, chill out with that. And not to mention, he said the Raptors got Drake and the Knicks got me. And that's what Steve Stout said in his first interview, like, this is the Knicks, right? Man, like, you can't make this shit up. It just gets worse and worse and worse. So I'm going to say the Knicks, get the fuck out of here. The Giants win another championships, and the Mets do what they do. They make the playoffs, and they fucking never win. So that's where it's at. God, it pains me to say that, though. It pains me because my wife and my kids already know, like, how much, like, I love the Knicks to a fault. But it's good that my daughters have not seen me, like, when the Knicks are in the playoffs.
Yeah, like, really
that's
in the
another
dance.
level that I don't think that I want them to see.
Yeah.
Because that shit is, like, real shit to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's, like, real. Like, you got to, like, leave me alone. Like,
I feel you, though,
you know
man.
what I mean? So yeah, that's where I'm at. Like, fucking Knicks, man.
No, I mean, it's awesome to be passionate about sports, though, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even for me, you know,
It
obviously,
is.
you know how much we talk about football, like being a Niner fan, me and my pops, like, and it's crazy because, like, also just seeing my mom when the game's on, she just leaves the room. She's like, I'm not going to be there. Like, I can't do that. Like, you guys are too much.
Not today.
Yeah, like, not today. You know what I mean? Like, it's too much for me. You know what I mean? Like,
Straight up.
yeah.
Like, yeah, exactly. And that's when my mom would be like, oh, God, the Knicks are on. Fuck.
Yeah.
What's crazy is back in that 99, I remember I was when I was going to San Diego State, my mom's recorded. That was when they were in the finals. She recorded Game 5 for me. And I didn't know the outcome because there was no social media.
Yeah.
I had to turn the radio off. I drove all the way from San Diego to Palmdale. My mom recorded the game. I was like, give me the tape because I was gonna go to Alicia. I was like, give me the tape. I'm going to Alicia's house. It was my wife now.
Yeah.
She was my girlfriend then. And I was like, I'm going to watch the game. And then like, I was like, don't say shit.
Yeah.
Don't say shit. She just gave like my wife a look like they didn't fucking win type shit. And I was already.
You're like, what is that? You're like, what the fuck was that? Why'd you look at my girl like that?
But I was like, God damn it. So, and it was like so stupid to me. I knew in my mind, my mom, the way she looked at my,
But
like,
it's the hope.
and I was like, and I still was thinking they was going to win. And they lost. And Sprewell had played out of his mind, too. That was like David Robinson era. It was like, man, it was, yeah. The Knicks, unfortunately, are my biggest like heartbreak of my life, and I feel like that will always be. It's just a fact. It's not. They ain't winning anything anytime soon. You know what I mean? But that's it. Like it's fun to talk about it, but it's like really heartbreaking. It's like if you think about it, because have you seen the Niners win a chip?
Nah, never.
So oh man.
So I've seen them lose twice.
Oh shit.
But it's one of those where like.
Same with me with the Knicks. So 94 and 99, they lost twice. Both.
It's one of those where like the next day you wake up and a part of you secretly hopes that it was a dream, and you kind of do this.
Yeah,
and kind of like,
yeah,
and then it's Monday.
But see, the Niners the Niners got a good organization. They're like they're in position to do good things.
Yeah.
So it's hard like to win a championship. Like
it's
period.
hard, man.
Like people, and I always keep that in consideration. I'm like, man, only one team wins it every year.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, the Knicks have been a mess my whole life, but it's like, we've been at least we went to the finals twice where I could root for them. So, but yeah, it's that's what I love about sports. It's like it gets the juices going. Like you're passionate.
The crazy part is like, just seeing the relationships you have with your fam. Like me and my dad. Us going to the games.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful thing. My son going crazy. He don't know what's going on. He's screaming, and then later he's asking for a juice box. I'm like, you know what's going on right now? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
hold up.
But it's all good. It's a beautiful thing, bro. I love it.
Yeah,
man. You know
exactly. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. That's exactly how I do. I laugh at the fucking debauchery of the Knicks organization. It's just not. It's just funny at this point. It's like way past, and nobody can do anything about it. But like New York, Madison Square Garden is like the mecca of basketball. And that's what sucks about it. Like everybody loves to fucking play well in the Garden, but nobody wants to play for the Knicks. You know what I mean? They want to go into town, get 50, and then hop out.
All right, guys,
night.
have a good one here.
All right, peace. You guys are fucked for another 40 years. You know what I mean? My fucking IG last year, I had KD, Zion, and Kyrie all in Knicks jerseys.
Photoshop now is fucked up.
Had to delete that shit. You know what I mean? Like, had me looking crazy. But, that's sports, man.
I feel it, man. I know you love boxing too, man. So what's your thought about Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury?
Wow, I think I was at the first fight. That was great.
It was in Staples Center,
It was
right?
at Staples Center. Yeah.
That must have been crazy.
It was a great, bro. The fucking Fury fans was out of control.
Really?
They were like on another level, and he came out to some like house music and shit. Like it was like
she's ready to party.
It was an event. That shit was kind of funny because
you yourself were like,
I was like, yo, what the fuck's he coming out to right now? Like it was awesome, but it was so cool, because the British boxing fans are like crazy. You know what I mean? So watching and rooting for Deontay Wilder, the American, I was like, yo, this Fury fought a great fight.
He was good, man.
He fought a great fight, and I've seen him fight several times before that. So I feel like, to a mainstream audience who's following Deontay Wilder, they got a glimpse of like, yo, this dude, he's obviously not. You don't think like he's in shape, but he's nimble as fuck.
Slippery.
He moves well. He's like, you don't think a man that big could be that nifty and crafty, and he is, man. And it was such a beautiful sight to see because he is the essence of the sweet science, man.
Yeah, man.
Like he picks his spots, moves. He's a big target, so he got to really, and he has cats missing a lot.
Yeah, bro, tiring him out.
And also too, like for him to get up off the canvas after Deontay put him down,
and the way he fell down, so I was like, oh
like,
shit, I didn't think he was gonna get up.
Yeah, no, and kudos to the referee because in the house, that watching it live too, I was like, this dude ain't gonna get up.
Yeah.
Because it was like he was kind of like laying there, but he was gathering himself.
Yeah.
But to a ref, it could have been like, oh, he's out.
Yeah, he could have. Yeah, he could have just.
He could have been like, oh, he's laying down. He's
Yeah.
flat on his ass. He's out. But the ref gave him that 1 second that he needed, like, to see, oh, okay, he's just catching his breath, and he got up. But man, I think Deontay Wilder finishes the show this time, man.
I'm a big Wilder fan.
Yeah,
man.
I love Deontay Wilder, man. Like it's so cool to see because he's vulnerable too.
Yeah.
And he's wild. His last name, he throws some haymakers, but man, 9 times out of 10 he lands that, you ain't getting
And the
up.
crazy part is him. You just see him just loading up.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just see him there, and
Yeah.
I just even me myself, like, man, if I ever get hit by a punch like that, I won't be back for like 2 months.
Right? What?
Like, I'll be back by the time the NFL season starts, bro. Like,
Facts,
like,
man.
bro, that's crazy.
But I'm hoping that you learn something in every fight.
Yeah.
And Deontay really got to study that tape as well because it's like I feel like he could do a lot more things to Fury. I don't think Fury's gonna be able to handle.
Yeah.
Like I think he could have touched the body more.
Mhm.
I think he could have moved more. Deontay sometimes just gets to the point where he wants to like he's gonna hit you with that one.
Yeah.
And I think he's gotten a lot better over the years. I think like his knockout rate is crazy.
Yeah, I think he's only had one win
without
that went
a knockout.
to distance,
Right.
and then the draw with Tyson Fury.
Right.
Yeah.
So But I'm rooting for Wilder. You know, and I like Tyson Fury a lot because he's a great boxer and he's withstood a lot of trials and tribulations in his life. So it's cool to see him be at where he's at, but I feel like Deontay Wilder will finish the show.
And even the last time, Wilder, his last fight was with King Kong, right? That was his last fight.
Yeah.
Even that one, I mean, it's
Ortiz.
Ortiz. Yeah. It's crazy because like Ortiz was having a pretty solid fight. But that punch is like, bro.
Yeah.
Like a fighter, like he said, a fighter has to be perfect 12 rounds. He just has to be perfect for like 2 seconds.
That's true.
And it's like that's fucking scary.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, and I knew like Luis Ortiz, like you know, like he's no slouch. He's a good boxer as well, but like Wilder's power is something I've haven't seen in a long time, And like I said, like you know, at first when we were first watching, he was just like
those wide hooks.
Wild hooks. I feel like he's getting better and better every fight, tightening up a little bit, getting more boxing skills. But he has that power in both hands where he could just you'll be done in like you said in a split second. So that's gonna be a good, interesting fight. I wonder what the line is on that.
I didn't see. I know it's next week.
Yeah, it's next Saturday.
Week. Yeah.
Yeah, is it Vegas as well?
Yeah, I think it's in Vegas now, the MGM, I think.
Yeah, so I got Wilder finishing that fight. I would say he'll get it done 7 rounds or less.
Yeah.
Like maybe 9. I would say I'll say Wilder in 9.
Cuz I feel like if it goes the distance, I feel like Fury will win that.
Definitely. Well, yeah, I think you know what crazy thing is like Fury was like virtually controlling that fight throughout, and then Deontay Wilder woke him up with that knockdown, you know, and I thought he was gonna finish him, but shit, like Fury withstood. Like that's no easy task. He withstood that Deontay's power, and like I did not think he was gonna get up, and he got up and he kept fighting and he finished the fight on his feet. So yeah, I'm not saying he's a slouch. I'm just saying I think Deontay is the younger, hungrier fighter. Yeah. You know, I think Fury proved this point where he was like, yo, like he came back and he gave the champ all he could handle and then some.
Would you like to see any of those 2 fighters, whoever wins, fight Anthony Joshua?
I would still. Yeah. I would still. I know Joshua's kind of like, you know, like.
I know he got a lot of slack for the last fight.
But it happens. Yeah. You know, it happens. It's happened to the best of a lot of boxers, you know. But I would love to see that fight still. I still want to see Joshua Wilder or whoever comes out of these fights. I want to see that fight. You know, I'm not as down as a lot of people are with Joshua. I feel like he had that one mental lapse and slip up, but I would love to see that Joshua Wilder for sure. That would be one of my top fights for sure, along with Errol Spence. Errol Spence. I want to see Errol Spence.
Was it Crawford?
Yeah,
Crawford.
Terrence Crawford. Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford is one of the top 3 fights I want to watch, as well as Wilder, Joshua. But yeah,
any other fighters you have your mind on? Because I know heavyweight, obviously you got Wilder, you know, right. Fury, and
the welterweights always are good, like because they always, you know, what's cool is like a lot of these cats have been fighting each other, you know. But Crawford. Errol Spence for sure.
Canelo's on his prime too right now, man. He's doing his thing.
I mean, Canelo, bro. Talk about grooming a boxer, bro. That guy's been been groomed like perfectly.
It's crazy
for so long. Like think about it. When like Floyd and him fought when?
That was like
2012?
Yeah, something like that. It was a
no. Maybe it was 2014 or something.
Yeah,
like
I think
that.
it was 2014. I know he was a young buck. He was like 18, 19, I think. He was like super young at that time.
Oh, absolutely. Like, you know, and he had no business being in the ring with Floyd at that time. But he hasn't not had one hiccup since.
Nah.
He's been just perfect.
Even Triple G, I thought that was gonna be the fight that was gonna be like
the Triple G fight, like he impressed me a lot.
Yeah, me too.
He impressed me a lot. Canelo showed me a lot of heart and a lot of like chin, man. Like I honestly thought that that was debatable, but you know, I gave Triple G the first fight slightly, 7-5, but it could have went either way, and then also, I think that was a draw, right?
Yeah, the first one was a draw, and the second one was Canelo, back. Yeah.
So, but then in the second one, it was like no question, Canelo was the better fighter.
Yeah.
So he learned a lot, and like, yeah, I'm excited, like, cause it's like who's he gonna fight next? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm trying. I'm trying to think like who's the next fighter that could put up a strong performance.
Cause he's fighting like at middleweight, right?
I think so.
Like he's like 160, I think, right now.
Up.
Yeah.
What was it? I forgot the guy he just fought. It wasn't that long ago, but I know people were like, "Yo, he's really moving up in weight."
I forgot the guy's name. I know you talk about. It was the guy who had like, is it Jacobs? Was it Daniel Jacobs?
Nah, it was somebody. I forgot his fucking name.
It was. Oh no, it was.
I think it started with a K.
Kovalev.
Yeah, there you go.
Kovalev.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, he destroyed him.
Yeah, bro, he went up in weight.
He destroyed him.
Bro,
and Kovalev is no easy task. He's no pushover fighter. He knocks guys out. Kovalev had Andre Ward on, like, could have gave Andre Ward his first loss. Like, dude. You know, so I feel Canelo, we just need that, that star name though. I need somebody like, you know, it's just so hard with that division, you know. He's got to go down, or you know, he's got to go down probably. You know, I don't think he'll ever get back to the welterweight, but that would be amazing to see if one of those welterweights go up and meet him at like light middleweight, like at 154, like a Keith Thurman or somebody goes up Keith to like 154. Or, you know, those are the welterweights. To me, are their star names. Like between Thurman, Porter, Spence, Crawford.
Is Earl Spence okay though? Because I know he had an accident, right?
He did. I'm not
sure if they said that, like, if he's ready to fight again or anything like that.
Jeez.
But I know it was supposed to be him with Crawford, right?
Yeah, Crawford and him were supposed to be poised to fight each other.
What's is it Gervonta Davis? Am I saying
Gervonta
right?
Davis,
and then they're trying to, I know I forgot what's his name? He's a young dude. He's in Canelo's camp. Ryan, what's his name?
Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
Man.
I know they've been trying to set that fight up for a cool minute.
He was on the undercard of the Canelo Kovalev fight.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He's
this kid is impressive.
How he's a young buck.
He's a young buck, and he's like the truth.
Dude, that's fucking crazy.
That's like the next face of boxing. He's that dude. He's gonna be that dude.
He's pretty sharp too. I was watching that fight. He has some very sharp punches, man.
Dog, he looked like he was a poised veteran out there. He was like walking his guy down, picking his shots, cutting the ring off. I mean, the kid's 20 years. I don't even know how.
I know he's
really young, but he's so advanced,
dude.
Kind of like what Canelo was too at that age, you know. Like, but I think like he's even better, dare I say, you know, than Canelo at that age.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any other fighters, but I feel like the names, you know, we just mentioned are like the strongest names right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
There's, you know, I'm always about my boxing. I'll watch whoever's on.
I know. I remember when Cotto was. I think he was gonna fight Mayweather. We had some good conversations at that time, and Cotto was a beast too, though, man.
Cotto, like. Yeah, like,
that fight was good too, though, because they were going toe to toe in that fight.
Yeah, they were. I mean, at that time, like Floyd, I think Floyd was kind of giving the fans a show. Yeah. Like he was trying to, but he was like, "Oh shit, I'm getting hit right now."
And I don't think he had his dad in his corner at that time.
Nah, he had Roger.
I think it was just his uncle.
Just Roger. But Cotto, he always is all about his business.
Yeah,
you know, I love the way he carried himself. He handled himself, and you know, like he ended up being. Because coming off of me being Puerto Rican, rooting for Trinidad, I didn't think anybody could match Trinidad's like exciting.
Yeah,
you know, Cotto didn't have obviously the power that Trinidad had, nor the athleticism.
Yeah,
but he had the heart, and he won a lot of people over because he really did fight everybody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He fought everybody, and he fought like a champ, and. He gave everybody a hell of a fight. Even Canelo, like a lot of cats were always talking shit to me, like he's gonna fucking knock Cotto out. I was like, yo, we'll see, bro.
Yeah,
Cotto is actually a really good boxer.
Fight, I remember that.
Yeah, and it was a great fight. Like to me, of course, like I felt Canelo showed the ultimate sign of respect to Cotto because I feel like he could have went there to where he could have. I feel like he could have like just did it. You know what I mean? But he kind of like. Yeah, especially the last round, where you know at that point. But you know that's just the heart of Cotto. Like he literally gave everything he could, and unfortunately, like just like his last fight, he tore his bicep against the what was that the Muslim cat's name?
That's fucking crazy.
He tore his bicep in like the 4th round of his last fight. It was gonna be his last fight, and it was oh man, I'm forgetting the guy's name already, but it was like just like Cotto is the best. Cotto, in as far as Puerto Rican fighters, he's top 3 for sure. And that was a tough task because he couldn't get out of Tito's shadow forever.
Yeah.
Like, everybody thought like, oh, he was just a different fighter because
Yeah.
we were all used to Tito knocking motherfuckers out left and right. And Cotto was like a bulldog. Like he would he's a pit bull. He'd get in there, get the body shots, and he had to work for that knockout.
Yeah, he did have those
you know what I mean?
shots,
Where Tito had to that one shot power. But yeah, he's definitely my favorite fighter. And like, what's the Bronx Tale saying? Like, you get the guy said you get 3 fighters in your lifetime.
Yeah.
Where you know what I mean? Yeah. For me, it's Tito, Cotto, and we need that next Puerto Rican champ. I don't know who the next guy up is.
Damn, man.
Like you get 3 champs in your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like we'll see. But like boxing has always been like my right up there with my like number 1 sport.
Yeah.
Like I love it.
No, I know. I remember even you
it.
telling me like, "Yo, go to a fight. Like it's so cool to just experience it." Like, and I'm like, man, I really want to experience a fight like live. You know what I mean?
You know what's a great arena for that is the Home Depot Center.
Home Depot.
In Carson? It's what is that place called?
StubHub? No,
StubHub.
StubHub Center.
I've seen probably about a handful of fights. Some of the best fight. It's something about that arena being outside. It like brings the dog out of people.
Yeah.
Like it's like literally. I've seen some of the best fights live there.
That's crazy.
And it's great because also too the cards. It's just all day. You know, you get out there, watch some great fights from local cats, local gyms, which is nice. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. The StubHub Center is freaking amazing. As a matter of fact, I seen like Cotto fight.
I think you watched the fight, and then I think Mayweather was fighting that. I think he was fighting Berto at that time.
What happened? No, what happened was Mayweather was fighting McGregor. I was like, you ain't gonna fuck with you ain't fooling me. I ain't buying that shit. I'm gonna watch Cotto at the StubHub Center live, and I'm glad I was able to watch that because like it was. I think it was Ali was his last fight. So Ali, I'm trying
to remember. Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
I know the guy's last name was Ali, where he tore his bicep, but I was glad I was able to see him the fight prior to that, where he just put on. It was like a fucking painter painting a masterpiece. That's bro. Crazy, he was tagging this. It was a Japanese cat he was fighting. He was just tagging him, moving. It was like art in motion.
Yeah, you were just in awe.
And I was like, bro, this dude's like my age, like and he is still. Got it. You know what I mean? So I was glad I was able to see that fight. Mm-hmm. That was the same night as Mayweather McGregor. So yeah, but my boys drove home after that fight and they watched the fight, the Mayweather McGregor.
You were straight off.
But I was straight. I was like, I already knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I called it. I've called a lot of big fights, man. I said before Mayweather Pacquiao, I said that shit is gonna be boring. I said that shit. People was always hyped.
No, we've had some conversations where I've been like, "Hey, man, I some shit."
I literally had said, "This is like, when Big Boy would come, like we would talk. I was like, "Yo, Big, that fight is gonna be boring.
Yeah,
Mayweather's just gonna like do what he does.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like he's gonna handcuff Pacquiao. And I was like, right. I'm sorry. Like, that was a boring fucking fight. In true Floyd fashion, he did what he did.
Yeah.
And I'm not taking anything away from Floyd, but he did what he does. And he just, granted, I agree. I believe that Pacquiao was hurt that fight as well. Like, so again, I would pay to see the fight again, you know. And then I also, what was I saying? Oh, and the Conor McGregor Mayweather. I was like, Mayweather's just going to like, let him get a taste of it, and then he's going to pull him into the deep water and say, hey, this is where the big boys fight now.
Yeah.
We're in the 7th, 8th round now. You got any gas left?
Yeah.
And then he's going to fucking finish him. In true Floyd fashion, and he did.
Yeah.
But not to say that Conor didn't box well. I thought he did tremendous.
Yeah, I thought he did
way
pretty
better
solid.
than I had
Yeah, me too,
thought.
Man. Yeah.
But I knew Floyd would take him into deep waters, which was his 7, 6, 7, 8 round, whatever it was, and then he just finished him.
Man.
And that's what it is. Like that's I'm like
finished.
I'm trying to remember what round it was, but
I think it was round 8,
yeah.
round 7 or 8, one of those 2 rounds. But yeah, man. I mean, I heard he's coming back. That's what I've been seeing due to Instagram.
I'm sure people will buy the fight whatever he sells. He's a great seller. He just sells the fight, and we're all, we all everybody stops and watch the car accident on the side of the road, and everybody will stop and watch Floyd fight again because he'll
I'm a
promote
Floyd fan, man.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's great. I'm not saying he's the greatest. I will not say that he's the greatest. He's a top 10 pound for pound and ever for sure. I would put him in there, but he would be at the tail end. As I would have at least, I'd have at least 7 or 8 guys before him.
Yeah.
You know, I would have. I mean, Sugar Ray Robinson, Ali, Duran.
You put your boy. Who you say Whitaker? No, you didn't say Whitaker. You said
Whitaker. Trinidad.
Trinidad. Would you put your boy up there?
Not in the top 10 of all time. No. I would put Floyd.
Was Whitaker the one that fought De La Hoya? It was that big fight.
Pernell Whitaker. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was nice too. He was like Floyd before Floyd.
Yeah.
Like he was, and he had some pop too. But yeah, I would have Floyd like tail end, the last maybe like 8, 9, or 10.
Did you watch Roy Jones a lot?
Yeah. I have Roy in there for sure. Definitely. Like Roy was like must see.
That's crazy.
He was must see. Like he was. It was just so sad because the level of competition was like none. It was like you watching Michael Jordan perform. You know, it was like he was too athletic, too strong, too fast, too everything. You don't do that like what he did in the ring. Like nobody does that. Like it took a special athlete.
Yeah, I was watching some highlights and I was like, damn.
Like he was just nice with it. Like he was the Matrix, bro. Like he saw things like, and he knew what you were gonna do. The timing was crazy.
Yeah.
Like he brought cat-like reflexes to another level. Like he was just ill with it. Like and he played that chicken. You know, the Roosters or whatever the fuck he had. That Rooster fights back down in Florida or whatever. But the Roy Jones was like another one who was just like, I would show my daughter's tapes on Roy Jones because he was like one of those athletes that you were just like in awe of. Yeah. Like, so yeah, Roy would be up there for sure. Like I said, like Ali. I would even have Joe Frazier. I would have Sugar Ray Robinson, Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard, Chavez. I would even have, honestly, one of my favorite fighters is Juan Manuel Marquez, man. That was like one of my favorite fighters of all time.
That was crazy. Even when he fought Mayweather, it was just like, that was a trip.
Yeah, like, and he was learning a lot still, too. Like, when he first, Mayweather makes a lot of guys look pedestrian. Like, you don't, he's just that good, you know. But, my levels of, like, dopeness is, like, heart, skill, like determination, and Marquez just had that for me, especially.
And they gave some of the good fights with Pacquiao, some of the best fights we've ever watched, bro. Man. Like that's just
and
crazy.
Barrera when he fought, him and Barrera,
bro.
Like
I forgot about Marquez. He's a
Marquez is one of my favorite fighters of all time. I love watching him fight, and especially because he did that at a high level when he was getting older as well. When what he did to Pacquiao,
bro, that punch
I was so happy for him,
dude.
I was so happy for him because he's had that missed opportunity, not missed, but he fought Pacquiao at Pacquiao's
like Pacquiao.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
where he unfortunately, like I think people were overlooking him. A lot of, especially and unfortunately a lot of Pacquiao fans get like too obsessed of he's just gonna knock people out and he's just gonna knock people. He's gonna go through this person, and then Juan Manuel Marquez was in there. He's like, I'm not going anywhere, bro. I'm right here. And not only that, I'm gonna fucking counter your quick ass.
That shit was crazy.
And when it was just like one of the greatest moments in boxing.
Yeah,
like,
man, that shit was.
And I said, and I rooted for Pacquiao in different fights, but like that was my guy. And I was like, that's his. Look at that. That's his fucking masterpiece, bro. He got him. He crazy, fucking got him. That's the beauty about boxing. You just never know. Yeah, you're one punch away. And look at those guys fought 4 times.
That shit's crazy.
You know what I mean? You would think every nuance.
Yeah, it was like a divisional game.
Pacquiao got caught sleeping.
Yeah, man.
He went forward and he just landed like short.
And it was
sweet.
right before the
right before the bell.
Right before.
It was right on the button, and it wasn't like Marquez came from here. It was just like a nice. That's what was so beautiful about it. It was short, sweet, and bam. That's all you needed. And then he was out.
It's crazy because I remember when I watched the fight, I thought he hit him below the belt for a moment. I didn't really catch it. I thought he hit him below the belt. Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, like he hit him below the belt. But right when they showed the replay, I was like, oh shit, that was a fucking
right on the temple right here, right between the eyes, man. Bam, and he went down. And Mitt Romney was like, "Oh my God,
bro, that shit was
in the stand." Like I was going crazy, bro. I was going crazy, like if the fucking Knicks won the championship, bro.
Going back to the Knicks. Oh shit! You know, this reminds me of just in case the Knicks.
But yeah, man, like god damn, always comes back to the fucking Knicks.
No, bro. I figured. Hey, you know what's crazy? We were watching the movie Ali at the crib.
Yeah.
And Jacob was watching the movie. He was just kind of passing by. He was like, "Oh, I want to box." I was like, "No, baby.
Nah.
Go play Donkey Kong." Like, I was like, "Get the fuck away from that, man." I was like, "I do not want to see you get punched,
dog.
Like, I do not want to see that." Like,
straight up, like you only box when you have to. You know what I mean? Like that's when you you know what I mean? You of course you want to teach him a little 1-2 and make sure, but like nah, man, that's like your life.
Yeah,
it's like, how do you explain to a kid like, yo, no, this is your life could be on the line,
bro?
You know what I mean? Like this is like serious stuff. This is life and death. This is not a fun like, oh, we're gonna hit each other and like you may not come out of the ring. It's a whole different level of conversation and depth.
Yeah, that's
to life that you don't ever want to.
Oh,
you know,
talk
about, right?
Like, nah, Jacob, just
go
watch Rocky.
Yeah, just catch,
you know what I mean?
Just catch the ball like this.
Yeah.
I'll throw it to you right here 100 times.
Remember what Theo Vinny said? Catch the ball from the side.
Exactly.
Oh man, Ben, this was awesome, bro.
Thank you for having me.
We were just gliding the whole time, man.
Yeah, come on, man.
Anything else we missed anything else? I think we were good. We talked about sports, talked about life, we talked about an amazing person you are. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Talked about the Knicks.
Yep. Always got to get the Knicks in. That's my heart, man. That's my heart. And you know, I'm loyal to I don't even say loyal to a fault. I'm just loyal.
Yeah,
man.
I'm
loyal. The only other thing I have to say to end this podcast is my saying. I always say it to people, especially cats. The grass is never greener. Like, appreciate what you have and never envy what somebody else has.
Yeah.
Because the grass is never greener on the other side. It might be greener on the other side, but the shit probably is fake.
Yeah.
So don't ever fucking think that your life and your situation is worse off than someone else. Just appreciate life. The grass is never greener. Appreciate what you have. Appreciate your family. Appreciate your health, and and everything else will play itself out. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that's how you end the fucking episode. My boy a rapper. My boy got bars. When you said the grass isn't greener on the side, I was like, oh, I need to know what you gonna say, man. I've been reading Instagram quotes the wrong way, bro. Oh man, thank you, bro. Appreciate
you for
man.
having me.
We out here, man.
Come on.
Wax only.
Let's go. Beatdrop. Vinrican.